ขอบคุณมากครับชื่อ Thorsten นะครับเป็นคนเยอรมันอยู่ที่เมืองไทย16 ปีแล้วเป็นผู้อำนวยการเอเชียที่ Acumatica and will do the rest of my presentation in English today พูดภาษาอังกฤษSo thank you very much, Kun Kanaria, for inviting me today, and Kun Chai. And we had a short introduction of my team already. So I have with me today Kun Natanai, who is our regional solution consultant, mainly focusing on distribution and construction industry. Kun Napatsanan, who is a regional solution consultant with main focus on finance, accounting, tax, and field service functionality. And we decided a little bit later, so it's not on the screen at the moment. We have Shamika with us from Sri Lanka, regional solution consultant with main focus on manufacturing. So let's jump in it. So we saw the agenda before already, short on the screen, so I can skip this now and can speak a little bit about digital transformation and what does it really mean for companies out there today, and how can this improve your business, and how can you really implement it and utilize the advantages that it should bring for your organization itself. Digital transformation simplified means we want our business processes to transform from analog, from manual processing, using technology and going into a digital business. And everybody is talking about it today, digital transformation. Maybe the COVID situation, pandemic that we all have, is accelerating this a lot. And so we are doing it too, as from an Acumatica perspective. But before we come to our product and how we can try to help you, or our product can maybe help you with this, let me show you here a short survey it's a global survey done by SMB Group, who sent questions to companies like yours and did this analysis out of it. So interesting is you see on the top line, the first graphs that are there, are companies that are already implementing digital transformation in their organization. And in the second row, you see companies that are planning to do this in the future. And the third row are the ones that are not working on it at all and maybe not interested in it at the moment. So, and the questions that they asked were mainly related to how was your 2020 revenue compared with 2019, and how do you see, what are your expectations for the future? And you see the blue line, the increase is very high on the ones that are already implementing digital, that started their digital transformation already. It is still in the second line, you see, it's much lower 2020 compared with 2019, but their expectations for this year are much higher on the revenue side. And the ones that are not having this in place are having much lower expectations and much more lower, have even a decrease in revenue, like unfortunately a lot of company, like I said, having had it last year and maybe continues this year. I think this is quite interesting, and we are happy to share the slides with you after the event, if you want to look a little bit more into the details there. So what we believe is that digital transformation today is not optional. It is a requirement to be competitive in the market. It is something that you have to do. So, but what does it mean? So, I like this statement. Digital transformation is not about technology. It is about strategy and new ways of thinking. And thinking about what are you doing today? How are you doing this today? And how can you use technology to do things different? And there are many companies out there in the market that are doing things very, very different today than their competition did it in the past. And I know you got a few vouchers for food already from Grab, and Grab is one example for it, right? Very interesting example, I think, because they are 100% digital, right? Everything over the app. No matter if transport or food or groceries, you can order there everything. So totally different to how it was in the past. But again, the app they are using is just a tool for them to do it different, right? And bring everything to your house or bring you wherever you want to go. So dramatically different. So, and this is what we believe technology can do today. I took this statement out of a book, which is called The Digital Transformation Playbook by David L. Rogers. If you are planning to go into digital transformation in your organization, I'm highly recommending this book. It's really very helpful. So what is it? What is the main focus of digital transformation? What are the main domains? And I picked out 5 that I short want to discuss. Number 1 is to get closer to your customers. Especially in the times that we have today, right? So where I cannot meet them every day. Maybe in Thailand, sometimes yes, but a lot of restrictions still in place, especially in Bangkok and around. So things are more difficult still now, 1.5 years into this pandemic. So the question is, how can I get closer to my customers and build a closer relationship to make sure that they stay with me, right? And some of the things that we are suggesting from an Acumatica perspective, we have a customer portal, which is in the end a B2B portal where you can give your customers access to your business solution, for example, to place orders or to contact your customer service via the portal. If you are in manufacturing and you manufacture, configure specific products for specific customers, so made to order, you can allow your customers to configure their product that they want to have on this customer portal. My favorite example is windows or doors, for example, right? Where you have different sizes, where the frame is different, where the material is different, where the handle is different. So the customer can go into this customer portal, which is live in real life. Integrated with your business solution and can create his product by himself and put it there together. It goes into the work order and can be manufacturing. So this is what I mean with trying to get closer to your customers using technology. Acumatica is coming with a free mobile app. So if you have mobile salespeople or mobile technicians that are out there somewhere all over Thailand, maybe even, they can be real time connected with your business solution at any time. See stock levels, maybe do check in, check out if you would like them to do this when they are on site somewhere on the customer side. So there too. Using technology to keep your employees and subcontractors, so we are not limiting this to your own staff, connected and being able to provide better information to the customers when they are on site, and our integration capabilities. So Acumatica has a very open architecture with web services, API integrations behind every form, which means simplified, we talk with any other solution out there in the market where customers think it makes sense to integrate. We know we cannot do everything. The world is too complex today to be able to do everything. So we decided to open up our solution, and if there are very specific solutions out in the market for very specific industries that you are utilizing, we are happy to integrate, which can be machines too, not only software, right? IoT is another big topic today. So the main question is, how easy or difficult is it for your customers to order from you? So that's something to think about, customer relationship and and business processes that include your customers should be one of the main points to think about in your digital transformation strategy. So maybe that's the first takeaway from our presentation today. Number two is competition. Monitor what your competition is doing. And I mentioned Grab before, right? So taxi drivers didn't monitor what's coming up there, and suddenly they were very surprised about this big competition that is coming out there. Another example that I like to use is, I don't know how common this was. Yeah, it was more on the street market, I know. But when I was young and I wanted to watch a movie in Germany, when I grew up there, I went into a small shop where I could rent this movie physically, right, on a DVD, or when I started on VHS tapes. And then Netflix came and totally took them out of the market, right? Movies today online, I just pay a small subscription fee every month and I can watch my movies. A big change I see in Thailand for this. I remember when I moved to Bangkok 16 years ago, you could buy DVDs or CDs for music or movies or everywhere on the street, right? Like Sukhumvit area or Silom and everything around. They are nearly not existing anymore because it doesn't make sense, right? We all can watch it online today. And the same with software, like Microsoft Office, right? Just a 365 account, you pay a fee. And it took a lot of the black copies from the market, I think, that were out there. So watch your competition. This is what I want to say with it. At any time. So look what they are doing. Is there anything that can strengthen your position in the market that you have to react on, to being there. So number three is data. Today, and I have a couple of slides about it a little bit later, it's unbelievable what amount of data is available. So the question is what I'm doing with it. So how do I utilize this information? How, for example, simple example, how can I track an existing customer that I have that normally orders pretty regular from me? How can I realize if these orders are not coming in so regular anymore? And then maybe look into this. Maybe it's talking with competition, right? And looking for something else. So how can I utilize the vast amount of data that we are having for my benefit in my organization? I know the slide is very old, 2014, but this is why I put it up actually, because this is not something new that we are having there. When I joined Acumatica, which was in 2015, we use this slide in explaining what's going on, and we see how much data it really is. And we see too the shift. Then already 7 years ago, we saw the shift already from even computer, notebook to mobile. We all have our mobile, right, and smartphone, and want to have access to everything that we are looking in Facebook, Line, whatever private tools we are having there. But even my Netflix that I spoke before about, it's all on the mobile today. And before COVID started, I was traveling a lot all over Asia. And I nearly more or less lived with my mobile, did everything what is related to business on my mobile. So that's definitely a trend there too, from a technology perspective. So, and then artificial, and this is again how Acumatica can help you with this. We have included in Acumatica something that we call generic inquiries, which is a relatively simple tool to query data, to get data that is available in Acumatica and prepare it in a way that you can read something out of this, including pivot tables, as you maybe, for example, know it in Excel. So very mighty tool, and every user can be trained on it and work with it. So you don't have to be a programmer anymore to do it. So then analytics functionality included in Acumatica, and I believe very powerful dashboards that you will see later. And I believe in monitoring my data and making decisions based on the data that you have in your solutions. Dashboards are a mighty tool for it, because you can set up criteria that you want to see there in your dashboard. Like I said, the team will show you a little bit about it later. And then artificial intelligence that we include in Acumatica itself, that, for example, can maybe help you in the future to identify a customer who's not ordering so regular anymore, or the average amount of orders is going down, or whatever criteria you maybe think is for you important in your organization to react on things that are happening. So number 4 is innovation. So the world is changing dramatically, right? I said this before, and new products coming out, different way of selling is coming. We all need to be up to speed and innovate our products further that we are having there. So Acumatica, for example, releases a new version twice a year. Once in March and one around September timeframe, with new functionality, with additional functionality that are mainly requested by our customers. So we have a website that we are providing our customers where they can log in and send product ideas to us. And we are reviewing it on a bi-weekly basis. You can vote on other ideas that are in there, so we can see too if others are interested in this idea. And actually, last year and this year, 80% of our new functionality came out of these ideas from customers. So to continue developing your products that you offer in the market. And how Acumatica Concrete can help with this is mainly on the manufacturing side. Which tracking of different bill of material versions. We have a product configurator. I spoke about it already, where a new product can be configured on the fly in the system. We have an estimation tool where you can estimate costs and selling price for a new product before even setting up all the items and everything in the system itself. And we in our solution, we have our project accounting. And Natanai on the call is our specialist there to track innovation, what you are doing there, planning it step by step, maybe allocating the people, setting up a cost budget for an innovation process, and then tracking actuals against it to execute when you execute this innovation process. And the last one is value. And with value, I mean the value of your company. How our customers and your customers are expecting more and more today, right? And what they are really expecting is that you bring value to your customer. It needs to, they have a problem. They buy something because they have a problem. And how can you really help them to solve their problem and work on this? They are around. So the question is, and this is not really Acumatica related, but is when did you review the last time the value proposition of your company that you have on your website or that you use in your sales slide and everything there around? Our presentations, that standard presentations that we are using for value proposition, we change every quarter in Acumatica because, again, the world is changing, things are changing, focus is changing, and we are updating this very regular. So, and when you review it from a customer perspective. So how do they see what you present to them? What are they there? So this, as a second advice, as I said, not really Acumatica related, but makes this part of your digital transformation strategy. So the world is changing, and again, it's not changing because of COVID. I don't think this. It's changing. COVID is accelerating the change that started already a long time ago, and where we need to keep up with. Somebody one time said to me, that's many years ago, and I even forgot who it was, said to me, in our business, ERP implementations, one of the main challenges we always have is change management. Because if you implement a new software, whatever it is, the way people have to work changes. And people don't like to change the way they work, not only in Thailand, everywhere in the world. So it's always a big challenge is that people don't want to change. And this person said to me, like I said many years ago, said, today we are living in a time where it's not about being afraid to change. Today it's a time where it's being afraid of being left behind if I'm not changing. And I think it's very true in the world we are living in today. So coming a little bit to Acumatica in a little bit more detail. So our strategy to help with digital transformation are these 5 points that you see on your screen here now. So it is connected business, which means I mentioned the customer portal before, which means Acumatica stands not only for connecting your different departments with each other and the people that are working in different positions in your organization. Yes, this is very important too, that everybody has the information available that they need to make the right decisions or to do their job. But as I mentioned before, we are very happy to extend this to your business partners, include your customers in your business solution where it makes sense, include maybe subcontractors. If you use subcontractors, include them into the solution, let them do time entries if you want to track their something, or let them update the status of whatever job you gave them to do on your behalf. It can be really anybody. Sure, controlled by access rights in the system there itself, but we are open for it. And then number two, as I mentioned it before, is integration. Our integration capabilities that are setups, so not customizations, and the developer has to go in there and write a lot of code. So it's just more or less connecting different solutions with each other and let them speak with each other in real time. And remote collaboration. So Acumatica is 100% browser based. So you never have to install anything on your client machine, and you can use any device that has a browser. So yes, your notebook, maybe desktop PC, tablet, mobile, wherever you have a browser on it, smart TV maybe even, you can access Acumatica, and you have access to the information in your business solution and can enter data wherever you are. Which means during COVID, for our customers that we are having globally, working from home was much easier as with if you still work manual, or maybe with some legacy solutions where you have to have an IT guy coming to your house first and install the client to have access to the system. So it's just opening a browser and continue working wherever you are. It doesn't matter, as an example, which gives our customers a much higher business resilience than with other products maybe. And it is, we believe, an absolute future-proof solution. So we started building Acumatica about 15 years ago, and cloud in our mind from the very beginning, and digital transformation in our mind from the very beginning. And it's the future. And most of our competitors now redeveloping or have redeveloped their legacy solutions to be cloud-based. So and we started it from the beginning. So that's definitely an advantage that we have. And this all comes with very high customer satisfaction rating, which we are very proud of. This is a website, public website called g2cloud.com, g2crowd.com, sorry. And everybody can log in there and send comments or ratings about any software out there. And they are publishing graphs like this every quarter. And like I said, we are very proud to be with all these other ERP solutions out there in the market where you see the logos on your screen now, that Acumatica is the leader in customer satisfaction from their analysis of their data that they have in the systems there. So easy to use is something very important for us, and happy customers is even more important for us. So who are we? We are an American company with headquarters in Seattle in the US. We got acquired about 2 years ago by an equity fund called EQT from Sweden, headquartered in Stockholm. So in the end, we are a Swedish company since 2 years, and are very happy about it because we got a lot of investment into Acumatica itself, which enables us to grow quickly and to develop our product even further, like I said, according to the request and requirement of our customers. Our headquarters for Asia is more or less here in Thailand. I'm based here, like I said, actually since March last year. I'm based in Udon Thani, since I don't have to travel so much anymore. And there again, the technologies that we are having today let me work from Ampere Bandung in Udon Thani with only rice fields around me. And it's no different from being in Bangkok in the office or flying to Manila and meeting with partners there. Not much different today anymore with the technology we are having. So, and then we have a few logos that you see here on your screen. These are large partners of us, OEMs that are reselling Acumatica under their own name. For example, Lexware in Germany is our partner there selling our product, or MYOB in Australia and New Zealand are selling our product under the name MYOB Advanced that we are having there. So we are very close with Microsoft and with Amazon. So we have a public cloud offering, which means we are hosting for our customers and providing all the services around, including backups and disaster recovery and keeping Windows Server, SQL Server, Acumatica up to date on the latest versions and applying patches and things like this. So full service. If a customer decides to use this, we are using AWS, Amazon data center. For all our customers here in Asia, it is AWS in Singapore where we host the solution. And we are very close with Microsoft. All our technology is Microsoft. We are developing on .NET. Like I said, 100% browser-based. We are using Microsoft SQL Server. We are using on the server side Windows operating system. And we have integrations into Office 365 and Power BI, for example, as well. We are supporting Microsoft Azure too, if somebody prefers Azure from AWS. So we have 350 resellers globally now. Acumatica works 100% indirect with partners like DigiNex, who you will hear a little bit from them in the next session. So we are never selling directly and we are never implementing directly. So the reason is that we believe in the qualities and the advantages of having a local partner on the ground who speaks your language, who understands the local accounting requirements in the country and tax requirements, which is quite complex in Thailand, for example. And who understands your culture and can work with you on this model. This is why, like I said, we are working 100% with local partners. We have over 240 ISVs now. These are companies that are developing functionality on top of Acumatica that we don't have in our solution at the moment. One example is for now, we don't have real process manufacturing functionality for like chemical manufacturer or similar. So there we are working with an ISV from India that developed this functionality on top of our solution, fully integrated, so the end user wouldn't see a different. It's just a different programmer, right? Who developed it there, which extends the functionality that we can offer as a relatively young company to our customers a lot, because like I said, whatever requirements may be coming in that we might not support, we are pretty sure there's an ISV out there who developed it already, and then your partner you work with, like DigiNex, can then make sure that this is one package and all integrated into one. So our main differentiators. Number one, we believe, is our technology that we are using and enabling digital transformation, enabling remote work with the technology behind that we are using, and I will explain it short on the next slide. Best-in-class business processes, functionality that we are offering, and I will give there a short overview about it. And then ethical business practices means we are putting our customer into the center of everything what we are doing. I mentioned this already related to functionalities that are suggested by customers and that we are adding to our solution. But it counts as well that we guarantee, for example, for an existing customer, when the renewal is coming up after 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or whatever, we guarantee that we never increase the price more than 3%. That's the absolute maximum. So we decide this year by year, can be less, but it can never be more. So these are all things that are for us very, very important, because we want for you as a customer to give you security in your planning in the future, and not somebody is suddenly coming back to you and says, oh, by the way, for this year you pay 30% more, which we see sometimes in the competition. So, but let's speak short about our platform. So the base is, so when we developed Acumatica new, we had to decide first about the technology we are using. And most of it I mentioned already. So we are supporting AWS Azure. In the end, we are supporting any cloud that is based on Windows technology. We are using Visual Studio for our development work. And we are using Microsoft SQL Server as a database. So then we developed our what we call Acumatica Cloud Platform, where we have all the common functionality in one layer that is needed for whatever we need on top of it. So like access rights that I mentioned before. We have a report designer inside of Acumatica where with drag and drop you can build your own reports. We have dashboards that I mentioned before as well. We have multi-tenant functionality. We have the integrations with web services, as I mentioned. So this is all in our platform and was developed first. And then on top of this platform, we develop our ERP solution and our ISVs I talked about, developing their ISV solutions maybe on top of it or parallel to it. But everything is based on this Acumatica Cloud platform that we are having there. This platform we are opening up to our partners like DigiNext. So if they want to develop there something on top, they are fine to do this, and even for our customers. So if you have IT resources, developers in your organization, they are even able to customize by themselves if they want without paying anything extra. Integrations, I spoke about it already, and here you see on your screen a few examples where we have ready integrations, which means we did it already, and it's just a plug and play. Like, for example, with DocuSign for online signing of contracts, with Power BI, I mentioned before. Smartsheet is a cloud-based project management software where you can manage projects. Office 365. Avalara is a tax software with specific functionality for every country to comply with tax requirements that are there, and many, many, many more that as you see it here on your screen, and relatively easy. If nobody did an integration yet, if the other side has API and web services too, it should be relatively easy to build the integration. So, and everything on modern security. We get audited every year on our security, so how safe the system is. And we are happy to share these audit reports with customers if you would like to have this and see it. We are using similar technology to online banking to make it to make it safe. What we are the solution and secure. And maybe the best example is, so I'm in Acumatica since 5.5 years, and we never had any in this time, and I never heard it about the time before too, but this is where I really would know it. We never had any security breach at all. So it looks like what we are doing there definitely works. BI and analytics, I said already, we have our dashboards and you will see them. But if you want more and get more out of your data, as I mentioned it before, as part of your digital transformation strategy, we have there a lot of integrations already with, for example, Power BI, with Tableau, and many, many other ISV solutions out there in the market to analyze your data and work with it. And you can access the solution from anywhere because, like I said, it's browser-based. So and we have the free mobile app on top of it. Functionality-wise, these are the main modules. Everything is built around. So for sure, financials, accounting in the background. Then inventory, warehouse management to set up and control your stock. Project accounting, I spoke short about it. This is specific to set up budgets for projects and track the costs against it in booking, for example,
time entry, so you can track labor costs, expenses, POs, materials that you buy in against the project, and then you can track in real time your P&L on every project that you have. Payroll at the moment only available for North America. And this is something you really have to develop country by country, but because the requirements are very different in every country. For Thailand, we are working with an ISV who has this solution available and integrated with Acumatica where it is needed. CRM, customer management, is integrated, is part of Acumatica. Most of our competition are having a specific extra CRM solution and integrating it back into their ERP. So we decided to make it part of it because we think it should be part of it. For example, if you want to track sales opportunities in the CRM and finally the customer agrees to buy, you just click a button and you create your sales order. And you can continue the process. You can invoice them. You can, out of the sales order, depends what it is, generate a service order to provide services, or generate your shipping of materials, or even manufacturing orders, so work orders to manufacture something, so fully integrated. And then field service functionality, which is mainly for companies who are selling equipment or devices and having after sales services. So maybe have to go there, install it after the initial sale, or maintenance contracts, or customers calling, having a problem with this, have to send an engineer there. So this can be all managed in Acumatica. And then we are having total focus on specific industries. So it starts with the general business edition, which is in more or less only financials. And then maybe you can add CRM or project accounting or specific functionality that you would like to have. We have a construction edition, very specific for this market, relatively new, since 3 years. Very successful with this, especially here in Asia. With last year, 26% of our sales were in construction, only after 3 years, like I said, in the market. So that's very, very successful for us. And it's mainly around tracking projects, managing subcontractors, and tracking compliance issues. For example, insurance, when are they expiring? I get notifications when they have to be renewed and things like this. Distribution edition is our #1 edition in Asia, includes warehouse management, procurement process, sales order management behind it as packaged in one solution. Manufacturing edition is then the distribution edition plus manufacturing functionality like BOM, manage your bill of material, your work orders, MRP, material resource planning, and then some of the functions that I mentioned a little bit earlier, like the product configurator or the estimator or planning and scheduling, for example. And then the retail commerce edition is in the end the distribution edition with an integration into e-commerce platforms like Shopify or BigCommerce. So the sales are happening online on these existing platforms, and all the shipments and everything around will be done by Acumatica later. But in the end, Acumatica is the full back office solution for this. So even the configuration of the items that you want to sell, you do in Acumatica, including pricing, the picture, the description, promotions, everything around is set up in Acumatica and will be then deployed into the e-commerce platform, whichever one you want to use. Out there. Okay, so some last key points that might be important for you. So #1 is I spoke about the public cloud when we are hosting for the customer on AWS. But it's your choice. If you prefer to use Azure, as I mentioned it before, or to use a local data center like maybe iNet in Thailand, or if you even prefer to host the solution on your own server in your office, you can do this. We call this private cloud. And it is exactly the same solution as we are offering on the public cloud. So it is up to the customer. Like I said, if you want us to provide the whole environment, including the services around, or if you would like to do this all by yourself. So that's like I said, very flexible. And this is maybe the most important point here in Asia, especially. Acumatica comes with unlimited users. So all our competition, the pricing of the solution is based on how many users you have in your organization. In Acumatica, we are modeling the licensing around the modules you want to use. So I mentioned before, for example, the standard distribution edition has a price, including the functions that I mentioned there before. But if you, for example, want to use on top of it CRM, you can add it, and then it's an additional price. If you don't want to use CRM, then you don't pay for it. So that's really the idea behind it. Same with product accounting or expense management or things. After we are deciding together with the local partner, so these are the modules you want to use. We are giving these modules to you with unlimited users and with a free mobile app for unlimited users as well. And the dual layers of support that I spoke is a big differentiator too. So you have the local partner as your main contact person if you are our customer, but you always have direct access to Acumatica too. You see, I'm on the call today. A few more of my team members are on this call, but this is not only in meetings like this. This is during the implementation project. This is during the sales process already when the solution will be defined together with operating as well, that you always will have direct access for sure, mainly with your local reseller. But if you have the feeling you need us from Acumatica for anything, we are happy to help as well. And you will get access to our global support team as well if you want to submit support cases to us directly and get any information from us. And you can take training if you want. If you want to know more about Acumatica, like I said, we will show a little bit later in the session. But if you want to know more about the solution in detail, we provide free training on an open university. It's under the link openuni.acumatica.com. You can just sign in there with your social media account and you can start taking training in finance, in customization, in whatever you want. So again, the link is openuni.acumatica.com. If you want to know more in detail about functionalities that are available, you can take training there if you want. So that's my last slide. To come back to the digital transformation and what it means in real life for customers. So this is a graph I like a lot from McKinsey & Company, deployed I think about a year ago, that I'm having it, which suggests a 90-day plan to start a digital transformation journey. So, and what it mainly is about is refocus digital efforts towards changing customer expectations. So they too put the customer into the center of the digital transformation process. And you remember on my slide before, I had the customer on number one too, right? So this is really main focus in most digital transformation efforts that companies are doing. Then use the data that you are creating, including AI and everything around. Selecting the right technology that supports what you are planning. And now I'm coming back to my initial statement, right? Digital transformation is not about technology. It's about changing your business, changing the way you work, supported by technology. And it has to be the right one. And then increase your organizational drumbeat or structure in being more effective in working with this. With this, thank you very much. You see if you want to know anything else, need any help with anything around, so you have my email address here on the screen. So it is Thorsten@acumatica.com. And with this, thank you very much for having me and listening to me. And we have at the end today, we have a Q&A session too. Feel free to ask any questions if you have this there. So again, thank you very much. And I think I'm handing over to Kun Kanyaria from DG Next.
ครับ Thanks for Kun Thorsten for your valuable information